Welcome to the StockMentor.com studios. I am your stock mentor, Brian Johnson. Big move up today in the markets, 3%. 3%. We started to break above all these levels we had been talking about, and there was your entry working out just as expected. The more aggressive may have been in yesterday, and I said if you hold, that's fine. I expected it to come back. I didn't know when it would happen. Couple weeks, couple days, never know. Just to watch these levels, if they were broken, they were not. So if you were long yesterday on my suggestion of above the 9,800 level, you did well. If you got back in today above that 98, 9,900 level, 99 was really the level I was talking about. This level right up here, that was my stronger line of overhead resistance. If you waited until then, you did great. That was a good chance to get long. More aggressive, managed to get in back here probably around 98.50, 98.60ish or so. However, by far the more conservative trade was right here, and that long paid off today. Now, I don't see anything until we get back up into this area here. So if you held overnight, I don't know, maybe we see some sort of a little pullback tomorrow. We get back below 99.50. Here's the deal. If you got in above 9,900, don't give it back. I mean, you might give some of it back, but I'm saying don't take a loss on this trade. You're not trading professionally if that's what happens at this point. You're up 100 points. Save at least 50 of that. So I'd say maybe put be watching below the 99.50 area, and if you need to take profits there, then so be it. Be done. Take something out of it. But my next level up here is definitely the 10-100 level, followed by this much larger level up here of 10-200. A very big move. You can see right here on the 60-minute. Look at that last hour of the day. Huge move to the upside. Buying, could be. Short covering, yeah, maybe a good mix of both. Regardless, it is up. So, could be in for that little bounce we had been talking about here. For you Ellioticians, any way to read this could be a 1, 2, 3 followed by a 4 back and a 5 left to come. This could be an A, B, C. We are now finishing up the C wave. Either way, this is what I'm doing, and that is I'm just looking at these overhead resistance levels here and then here for my targets on my profit. From a daily, you can see us. Remember I said the holding this blue line was bullish. As long as it holds, it's bullish. Now it can continue down, could continue lower, but as long as it holds the blue line, we're doing fine from the bull side. That was their one bullish thing left really to talk about, and it paid off today. Yesterday we made the break up and came back down, and I mentioned as well that if we broke or if we saw these levels again today, I would expect that they would maybe break this time, and sure enough they did. Running all the way back up to what? Yeah, about the 10-100 level. Love that for your overhead resistance. Watch that closely coming into tomorrow if you're long. From the NASDAQ, also seeing a run up today, 3% as well on the NASDAQ, breaking the blue line. That was your entry to get long, and or over this area, 1760, then 1780-ish. If you waited for the 1780 area, you're only about 9 points into this. However, good opportunity to play it back to about 1800, 1810, somewhere around in there. And then again up here right around 1825 to 1830. NDX on a daily, you can see here, falling down, coming right back into this little blue line, as we had talked about on all the other indices. They're all doing the same thing. Holding here, and now with the big bounce to the upside. So right above this 1760, about 1760-ish area was a good entry as well. Looking for it to come right back into this line, then ultimately maybe up here after that. Very plausible to see it maybe get back to these moving averages before it's all over with. From a weekly standpoint, I always give the bulls that shot, and this is why. Look at them try to pull it back up and over the 200-week moving average and holding this lower support here. So we do have a little bit of week left. It is an abbreviated week, so there are 2 days left in the week itself. We'll see if it can make it back above the 50-week moving average, sitting up there around 1800. So be watching that closely coming into the end of the week. SPX on a 60-minute, the big break here, 17 Sorry, 1035 to 1040 was my entry for you yesterday. That was a good entry. Did not pan out. However, today, if you held, I said anything below 1010 was where you'd want to look to maybe get out. Once we got back above this little blue line here, that was another good entry, which is right around what? Yeah, 1035, 1040-ish, which of course took us back up to here. The more conservative entry was above 1050. That played out beautifully. 1060, I just think that tomorrow we're going to see we might pull back a little bit, maybe retest this. I know that's quite a ways back, but there is that possibility. However, I'm really watching these areas here for your overhead target areas. Now, if you're in at 1050 or 1035 or 1040 or whatever, either one of those levels I told you to take the last couple days, you're making profits. Don't get greedy. Be watching these levels closely for your overhead price targets. That's where you're going to want to look to maybe take some off the table. 1076 is your 20-day moving average. Is also a very good target to have in place. You cannot call a bottom, and you cannot call a top. You're just looking for a piece of pie out of the middle. Always keep that in mind. Don't try to call the exact top. Don't try to call the exact bottom. If you do, great. That's gravy. Don't get wrapped up in trying to do that, though. You're going to kill yourself trying. You're going to blow up your account trying. Take a piece out of the middle. That's what I teach all of my students, the students that come to me for mentoring. That's one of the things that we really talk about a lot, and I show them precisely how to do that. So keep that in mind. Keep these overhead targets in mind. Don't get greedy. SPX on a weekly, coming back up, trying to hold this level down here, doing a good job of it. Into the end of the week, I don't know if we're going to make 1093. It's quite a stretch from here. That would be quite a run, though, I'll tell you that. I would still be looking for this 1070-ish, 1075 area for your overhead resistance overall for the week. VIX on a daily, also confirming with a 10% move to the downside, 9.5%. As you can see it falling back to earth here, coming back into these lower levels. So the fear factor starting to kind of dwindle ever so slightly in the VIX. We were up in the red zone, back into kind of the moderate zone here. Lots of support here on the VIX. More importantly, to recognize that we are down, confirming what we're seeing in the markets, which is a move up. Apple screaming upwards. This is big. This little break here, we had great entries. I said above 253 or below 243 for entries of 253.50. Great entries. Look at that. You take those entries, that's a $4 or $5 gain for you today. Yes, I know. Great move, guys. You're welcome. I love playing Apple. So this is definitely one that I watch a lot myself. I love playing Apple. And that was definitely one of my places to get long. So we had that move up over 253. Now back up above here, watching that 200 coming into tomorrow. Got to watch that closely. Notice the bounce off the blue line. That was our support, coming right back into what? The 20s. Those are your overhead target areas. This is ultimately mine, probably that 260-ish area right up in here to the 20-day moving average. I'll be watching that closely, and if we reach that, I'll be watching for any kind of reversal, because $7 gain for me is just fine. Apple on a weekly also bouncing off the 20-week moving average, maybe potentially, and it could potentially be coming back to retest the underside of this blue line. A little early to be, speculating on that, but would not surprise me if that was the direction Apple wanted to go. Such a strong stock. As long as the markets, especially the NASDAQ, continue to move upwards, Apple's a great trade. FAS on a 60-minute, also breaking up and over these blue lines. We've been watching. This is starting to get a little bit more bullish here for the FAS, which means we're going to see more bearishness for the FAZ from a daily standpoint, also poking its head back above this blue line. Not completely sold on that, but not a bad line. Really watching this 20-day moving average. That is your target. If you are long this stock down here, that would be my target there. Looking for maybe a break above that to continue with the bullish action. FAS falling downwards, coming back into this 200-day moving or 200 period moving average on the 60-minute chart. Very good place to find support. Any break below here, I think, takes us back to about 15 to 15, probably 1525-ish area, somewhere down in there. From a daily, you can see the drop down as well. Huge move, and once it broke that 200, that was my what? Yeah, probably time to get out if you were long above the 200-day moving average. this was the place to get out, right below 17. Hope you guys did that. We saw the big crash following. So if you were stopped out below 17, that was also an opportunity to turn around, play the other direction to the downside. Played out very well. If you took a short below the 200 moving average or below 17, which was ultimately my go short area, plow. Nice profits, guys. So, okay, that really does it for today. It was a huge move up in the markets. Is it for real? As of right now, you betcha it is. We're starting to break some good overhead lines of resistance, continuing to move our way upwards. We have good areas of overhead targets ahead of us. I think there could be a little bit more left in this little move to the upside coming into the end of the week. So you should be watching for that as we proceed further. Any breaks back below 9,900, not so good from a bullish standpoint. Otherwise, if you've been following along, you've had some spectacular entries for trades both yesterday and today. Yesterday's didn't work out so well, but it paid off today, coming into towards the end of this week. So I'll be back with you again tomorrow with a new video. And remember to watch these levels. As they break, those are your entries. Right now, we're in kind of an in-between stage. Be very careful if you miss the boat today. You might want to wait and see how it plays out as we proceed further. And I'll be back with you again tomorrow. Bye.